so on this video, we're gonna do something a little different than you guys are normally used to seeing from me. But long story short, I went to drop off some elk and antelope to get processed, and the guy wanted like 500 bucks for it. Seems like it gets higher every year. So it's just more of a convenience than anything, dropping it off and being able to pick it up, you know, but it's just a lot cheaper to do it on your own. So moving forward, I decided to cut up my own. I spent a day and cut up all the animals I had, and took that money I would have used to process it and went and bought a everyday dehydrator off Amazon, less than a couple $100, had really good reviews. And then I convinced the wife to let me buy one of these KitchenAid blenders with the meat grinder attachment. That whole setup was about 550 bucks. It's a little more than I wanted to spend, but now that I have it, I can use it every year. You can buy a meat grinder for a lot cheaper than that, but what I did was I bought the grinder thinking that's all I needed, and that was just the attachment. So then I had to go buy the damn blender. So with that, you can get into a grinder a lot cheaper than I did. And then I also bought a $12 scale. I can weigh each batch, and then a jerky gun. I looked at Cabela's, and they had some nice ones, but they didn't have any that would do like 2 at a time. At least when I looked, they didn't. You can do strips or you can do length. And this one is a lot bigger gun than the ones Cabela's had, so I can make a lot more in one stretch. And so with that, I bought a bunch of different seasonings from Cabela's I'll try out. Being that I've never done this before, I'm just gonna do a pound at a time batch and try different seasonings and concoctions of stuff and see what comes out the best. I've got, you know, some liquid smoke, some brown sugar, some soy sauce, some Worcestershire sauce, and then just some home seasonings that I like to use on my steaks and beef that I'm gonna do a batch in and see how those turn out. So I got a bunch of elk hamburger and antelope, and then I'll mix it with some bacon to add a little fat to it. So I'm gonna start grinding this stuff up, and I'll just kind of film as I go and talk through things that I'm using, and then hopefully at the end, out of 3 or 4 batches I make, we have one batch that tastes really good, and when we can move forward with that. So I'm gonna start grinding shit up. I finally got the damn blender figured out, and I was able to grind all this stuff up. So I got 6 pounds of antelope, 4 pounds of elk, and 2 pounds of bacon. I'm gonna mix it all up and then make 5 batches of 2 pounds each. I'll give me a variety of different seasonings, and from there I can kind of decide which one I like the best moving forward. So I'm gonna start blending all this up, and then from that point, I'll jump back on and we'll start adding some seasonings and make some batches of jerky. I'm just mixing all 3 of these together. You don't want too much white, so if you start getting too much white, you got too much bacon in there. So that's looking pretty good there for a batch. So I'm gonna clean that out, put it in my big batch bowl, and then keep mixing this all together till I have one big batch, and then I'll divide it into 2 pound increments. Okay, make sure your scale is zeroed. I already checked this, so we're right at 2 pounds. I'll do 5 different batches of 2 pounds a piece, and then I'll mix everything together and let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow I can throw it in the jerky tube and start throwing it on the dehydrator, and I'll put a batch out on the Traeger and see how that does. So each batch I do, I'm gonna mix it with a 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of liquid smoke, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And I'll probably throw in a little bit of this game and lamb mixture. If you guys haven't heard of this company, they make the best seasoning I've ever tasted. It's called Hardcore Carnivore. This is by far my favorite that I'll throw on. I use it on my steaks and beef. Just on the very top of it, it kind of leaves a black sear taste to it, so that should be really good with the jerky. And then this is just a garlic and salt and pepper mix. So I'm gonna start mixing all this stuff up, let it sit overnight, and then I'll check back tomorrow with all the batches. I'm gonna do a pepper blend, hickory blend, mesquite, cracked pepper, and just an original that I'll probably do with all this extra stuff. So that should be 5 batches, and then we'll give this a go and see how it turns out. Okay, I've got 5 different batches worked up, and I saved 3 extra pounds. Depending on which one I like the most, I'll make a big batch of that. So I've got pepper, cracked pepper and garlic, black carnivore, it's just a home recipe I put together, mesquite, and hickory. So I've let all the meat set overnight. I I ran the dehydrator this morning because since it's brand new, you're supposed to run it for 30 minutes with no meat in it. So got that all done. Got all my trays set out here. Jerky sticks out. This comes with a bunch of different attachments. Like I said, you can do links or you can just do the strips, and these will do 2 at a time, or there's attachments for singles. I'm gonna do doubles since I've got so many batches to do. I'm gonna run 6 different batches in the dehydrator, and then I'm gonna do take a strip of each, put it on a tray, and then I'm gonna do that on the Traeger too. So I'm gonna compare both the dehydrator and the Traeger, see which one I like more. I normally like a little drier of a jerky rather than soft, so I'm gonna try both and see which one works better. So with that, I'm gonna start loading this jerky gun with pepper, and then we'll start laying some strips out on these trays. Okay, so now we need to start putting this stuff in here, mushing it down in there. Push it down in there with that. No, other way. Turn it the other way. Here we go. Actually, the way you had it's right. Okay, I didn't realize it would fit in there. Yep, that's good. Let me put some more in. Perfect. Okay, push it in.
This way is this bigger. That's the used to.
Here, let me see this real quick. We'll try to turn it the other way and see if that will help us.
Yeah, first
We are in some
wash
sauce.
that off. I don't want it to get this. Oh, it's kind of heavy with all this jerky.
Yeah. Here, try to do it this way.
Okay.
There you go. See, I'll push it in there. Oh yeah, that'll fit. That should fit all of it.
It should.
Keep putting us all in there.
And then I'll squish.
Yep, squish it down. Good thing is we should be able to fit all this in there.
Might have to drop all that jerky right there.
There you go.
Smush it.
You getting it? Okay, a little bit more and then we're done.
Oopsies. Now I'm gonna grab some of that.
That's okay. Here, push that down in there. Okay, let me see.
You might need to help push that down.
Perfect. That's about the right amount. 2 pounds will about fill up this whole canister, so that's perfect.
These two.
Yeah.
It has
Okay, now, let's see, I want to turn get this straight. See, it's already starting to come out.
You want to put it on this?
Yeah, so we can put it in the oven. Oh, look, it's coming out.
It looks like jerky. Does it, Dad? Does it look like jerky? That thing stuck on it.
Okay.
Look.
Oh, we need to
Cut.
cut that off.
We might want to get a knife to cut stuff.
That'll be fine. Here, we need to, these are a little long. Can make extras. Doesn't have to be perfect. As long as they're in strips. Straighten them out a little bit. And you can make some extra ones over here.
No.
Okay, and then
It's like like when we're going to make s'mores.
yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's all just going to be jerky anyway, so it doesn't have to be super straight.
I think that's still coming out, Dad.
Yeah. This might make 2 different. Yeah, see how this gristly stuff kind of gets caught in there.
Yeah. Is there's this middle part that's probably getting stuck.
Have left in there. We'll have to. Might just have to do a couple batches of. That's coming out perfect now. Here, let's see here. Here, move this one up. This one
Yeah,
down.
and then put that one down. Move it right there. That one's a good one.
Yeah, it gets the
Get
all that gristly
caught.
stuff in there and it gets caught.
That's a big one.
Looks pretty good. Okay, that's all we got in that
Yeah,
one.
this one's stuck. Like
Okay.
a big moon.
So we can probably combine some of these. So we can free up this other.
And I also got the thing right open, so.
And we'll clean this out.
Do you want me to put this in there, Dad?
No, because we got to put all these on here and then we'll put them in. Definitely not going to have enough for all this gristly stuff we're going to throw away. What? That's bacon. Let's see, this is gristly stuff here.
Much gristly stuff.
It's just like from an animal, but we can cook out of it. That's just bacon, actually. A lot of it is. So it kind of comes out like this out of the gun. Some parts, depending on the bacon, and you know, it's not very straight, but it just turns out jerky, so it's not going to really matter. So got 1.5 trays of this. This is the pepper. So I'll probably just do pepper. We'll do the, which one do you want to do next? Hickory?
Huh?
We can do the hickory next, and then we'll have, should have enough for 3, and then we'll do 3 more, so we'll have a full batch in the dehydrator. I got cracked pepper, and hickory. Doing a batch of it on the Traeger. Mine's actually 185. I'm gonna run it for 45 minutes each side. Okay, I got pepper, cracked pepper and garlic. Then we switched over to the Lynx. Did some hickory, black carnivore, and mesquite. Okay, so I just flipped these over. Pretty good, really, already. Another 45 minutes on that side. That's pretty goddamn good. Okay, I just pulled all this off. I had a little bit of pepper, cracked pepper and garlic, and mesquite. So I did 180 at 45 minutes each side. I gotta say, the pepper is by far my favorite so far. So that's off the Traeger, and the other bigger batches are on the dehydrator. So those won't be done until about 9 o'clock tonight. So we'll try those out and see what I like better. Okay, I just pulled all these off. They've been on for about 7 hours. Got pepper, cracked pepper and garlic, hickory, black carnivore, and mesquite.